first. Mr. Thompson.
Mr. Chairman, I withdraw my point of order.
Mr. Thompson has withdrawn his point of order. The gentleman from Virginia, Mr. Byer, is recognized to speak on the amendment.
Mr. Chairman, I just want to point out that the $83 billion left for the Taliban number has been debunked again and again and again. In fact, much of that money never left the United States, but it was spent on U.S. manufacturing. I yield back.
Thank the gentleman. Is there anybody else who, yes, the gentleman from Oklahoma.
Mr. Chairman, thank you. I'd like to yield my time to my colleague from Missouri if he had any response he wanted to offer on that. Or
I would like to thank the gentleman from Oklahoma for yielding. Okay, it may have been $82 billion. The fact is that however this administration recklessly left Afghanistan, there's still Americans over there. There's still Americans over there. And that is what we should be talking about today. But instead, we're talking about spending $3.5 trillion to reward Democrats' political friends, allies, and donors. The American people are fed up. They are unaccepted with it. The fact that Taliban is flying around with a Black Hawk helicopter is U.S. equipment, and that is unacceptable. My constituents believe it's unacceptable. Americans believe it's unacceptable. And this White House should have not left that equipment there. They should have not left American U.S. citizens there. That is what we should be discussing right now instead of sending $3.5 trillion of a socialist wish list to Democrats' political friends, allies, and donors. This amendment right here will make sure that the people of America that needs it the most get it. Families that make less than $100,000. And you all are speaking out against this because you want families who make $500,000 to receive it. $28,000 worth of benefits. I thought you were the party of the working class. That's baloney. Baloney. You can say one thing, but your actions speak louder than your words. Support this amendment. And if you need to call Speaker Pelosi before we vote on it, call her and see if she'll say yes or no. I yield back.
The gentleman from Oregon is recognized to speak on the amendment.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I will just point out again that Donald Trump, in February of last year, cut a deal with the Taliban, released 5,000 of their prisoners and people that we have to deal with, and set a timetable with no plan and left a mess for the new administration. Those are the facts. And you accepted that when he set the timetable and started drawing down the troops with no plan. I haven't heard concern for some of the schemes from some of the prior administration and the Republicans that provided benefits for people who made $1 million or more. So this is a game that I think is not particularly productive, but I'm getting a little tired of people trying to rewrite history and exonerate the reckless action of the Trump administration that launched us on this path.
Thank the gentleman. As the
Mr. Chairman,
gentleman from California is recognized on the amendment.
I'm just wondering if the amendments that were passed out are the correct amendments, because this is a one-sheet amendment that I got. I've read it a couple times. Nowhere is the Taliban mentioned. Nowhere is U.S. military equipment mentioned. Was the speech hyperbole, or was the speech germane to this amendment?
Thank the gentleman. So I think that we're prepared to vote on this amendment. All those in favor of the gentleman's amendment signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, no?
No.
Mr. Chairman, I ask for a roll call.
In the opinion of the chair, the noes have it. And I just want to say to members that you are reminded to unmute yourself when voting. And as you will note, the clerk is now seated at the front of the room.